Listen, I need to tell you something that's going to hurt. But I'm telling you because someone needs to say it. And I'm old enough now that I don't care if it makes you uncomfortable. 3 years ago, my wife Margaret died. We were married for 41 years. And 2 weeks after her funeral, I found a letter she'd hidden in her jewelry box. The letter said, "Don't read this unless I'm gone." So I read it. And what I found in those 4 handwritten pages changed everything I thought I knew about my marriage, about love, and about the person I'd lived with for 4 decades. My name is Richard. I'm 68 years old, and I'm about to share with you what my wife really thought about our life together.
You see, Margaret and I had what everyone called a good marriage. We didn't fight much. We raised 3 kids. We had routines, traditions, inside jokes. On our 40th anniversary, our daughter said, "You two are what love looks like." And I believed it. I really did. But that letter told a different story. A story about a woman who felt invisible in her own home, who spent 4 decades trying to tell me things I was too busy to hear, who made herself smaller and smaller until she didn't recognize herself anymore. The letter started with this: "Richard, I loved you. But loving you meant disappearing, and I'm not sure that's what love is supposed to be." I sat on our bedroom floor and read that line probably 20 times, because it didn't make sense. I've been a good husband. I worked hard. I provided. I never cheated. I came home for dinner. I remembered anniversaries. But Margaret's letter made me realize I'd spent 41 years not really seeing her, not really listening, not really knowing who she actually was. Here's what she wrote. "I stopped telling you about my day around year 7 because you'd always interrupt to tell me about yours. I stopped mentioning when I was upset because you'd immediately try to fix it instead of just hearing me. I stopped talking about my dreams because you'd explain why they weren't practical. Eventually, I stopped talking about anything that mattered." Reading that felt like being punched in the stomach. She talked about the pottery class she wanted to take in her 30s. She never brought it up again. She wrote about wanting to go back to school when the kids started high school. I remember saying, "Let's wait until things settle down." Things never settled down. She never went back. I learned to be quiet. Richard, I learned that keeping the peace was more important than being heard. And somewhere along the way, I forgot what my voice even sounded like. I sat there for hours reading those pages. And the worst part wasn't that she felt this way. The worst part was that I had no idea. I thought we were happy. You stop asking real questions. You assume that because things are comfortable, they're good. You mistake the absence of conflict for the presence of connection. Margaret wrote about our 35th anniversary trip to Paris. I thought it went well. I had no idea she'd spent the whole week feeling like she wasn't even there. My daughter Emily later told me, "Dad, we all knew. We just didn't think you'd listen if we told you." Margaret died of ovarian cancer. And during those final months, I thought we were finally connecting. Now I wonder if she felt like she had to be dying for me to actually listen. In the last paragraph, she wrote, "I forgive you, Richard, but please learn from this." I'm trying to keep that promise. If you're in a relationship, ask real questions. Listen without fixing. Let them take up space. Because one day time will run out. Don't wait that long.